accessible to hybrid zoning or something. Okay, with that, I call the meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals to order on the 1st of July at 7 o'clock. And we have a quorum present, just barely, but we do have a quorum present of four
Also
members.
pleasant.
Also pleasant and present. And our first topic on the agenda is a public hearing for case number 2108-409 Haverhill Street. The Zoning Board of Appeals is holding a public hearing in the Select Board meeting room, which is here, Town Hall, Reading, Massachusetts, today, the 1st of July at 7 p.m. on the application of Yvonne and Eric Georges, pursuant to Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 40A, Paragraph 9, for a special permit under Reading zoning bylaws, Section 7.0, 7.3, and 7.32 to construct a one-story addition and deck along an existing non-conforming dwelling with a non-conforming side yard setback on the property located at 409 Haverhill Street at Assessor's Map 41, Lot 48 in Reading, Massachusetts. Unless there's an objection, I will dispense with the reading of the abutters list, except to say the abutters were notified along with the following: Select Board, Police Department, Building Department, Health Department, Engineering Division, members and associate members of the board, Town Clerk, Fire Department, Conservation Commission, Assessor's Map, CPDC, as well as the planning boards of our neighbors Wakefield, Linfield, North Reading, Stoneham, Woburn, and Wilmington. Anyone that wants to speak tonight needs to be sworn in. Please repeat after me if you plan to speak. Testimony given before this board is taken under oath, so if you will think you may want to speak, please stand and raise your right hand if you would, please. You both might want to. It's up to you, but
No, all right. Raise our right hand. Yeah.
just, I will read it and then you respond. I swear that the testimony given by me before this board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And your response is, I do.
I do.
Thank you.
I thought I was going to have to repeat that whole thing.
We,
Trying to remember that. I'm like, he wants me to remember.
We'll quiz you after.
no. The building inspector is not here tonight, but he did submit a letter. And Andrew, if you have in front of you, if you could summarize that, I would appreciate it.
I do. So building inspector Brett Bennett wrote to us that the applicant is proposing to construct a 16.7 foot by 12 foot addition and a 21.7 foot by 17 foot deck on an existing non-conforming structure with a side setback of 11.7 feet. This will require a special permit from sections 7.0, 7.3, and 732 of the Reading zoning bylaws. And he notes that the structure will not create any new non-conformities. The structure will extend an existing non-conformity, and that the stairs and the landing located on the structure do not require relief as they are exempt from zoning.
Do you have anything you want to present, or do you want to speak to your proposal? I think Andrew could probably put on the screen the plot plan if you'd just like to summarize what you plan to do. If you don't want to, we've all read it, but if you'd like to, I'd like to give you the opportunity.
Yeah, I guess it was just if there was any questions on it. Essentially, we have an existing kind of small deck there that hasn't been very useful for us for the years that we've put it in there, and it's become quite, it's more of a safety hazard now, and I have to replace it. And now it's kind of like, well, if we're going to replace it, can we put it with something that's going to be more functional? And so we figured we'd go through this process to see if we potentially could do that, and then have a better viewing area of a backyard, because the traffic on Haverhill Street is so noisy now that if we could be around the backside of our house, we can enjoy our backyard, which we can't really do right now with what we have there present. So, we wanted to do something that would give us, and then, inside of that there is the proposed, you see there is a partial deck and partial enclosed space so that we can have a year-round enjoyment.
We'll go around the room. Any questions?
Sure. So the existing deck on here, so in the yellow shaded area, it's kind of the half circle.
Yeah, little
Is that-
triangular section, yeah. And so would you like to see a photo? We have a photo of the existing.
I think it was in the.
It's
attached here.
It was an attached. Yep.
Yeah, I sent them, but we
Yep.
didn't, we
Yeah.
sent it
Yep.
out too.
It is.
You have it, okay.
We do have it. Yeah. Okay.
And from there, you can kind of see also, I showed the view of, to our neighbor, and our neighbor did provide, both of our neighbors provided letters of support, which I think I sent in as well. But it does allow all along that line where you see the fence, we have evergreens that are planted there, so he can't see us anyway, so he says he doesn't care because he can't see behind it anyway, so.
Yeah. I did notice the letters of support for both butters. That's excellent. So Brett mentioned that it will extend an existing nonconformity. Is that because it's going out closer to the deck? It's closer to the property than the existing deck?
So
Actually, far.
our, as you can see, our existing dwelling
Yeah.
runs this property here.
Yeah.
And that's existing when we bought the house. And, you know, at the time when you buy something, you don't realize these factors, till all of a sudden you go and wanna do something, and you realize you have a non-conforming, and it just creates another layer of challenge to do things, so. We had originally just done a small deck here that came back to the 15-foot setback, but because of the entrance into the place and everything, it just makes it, I'll call it a hardship, but it's just, it's
awkward.
It's awkward and impractical for the space, so, you know, we just wanted to continue, so this current setback that he says here of 11'9", that would just continue here for this section, so I think that's what he's referring to with, in terms of extending it, but we're not going to increase it.
Yep. Okay. That makes sense to me. Yep. So it's be in line with the existing side of your house. You're not going any closer to your butters. Those are the only questions I had. I generally don't see any issue with this, considering you do have the letters of support from your butters, as well as you are not going closer than your existing dwelling.
Cindy, do you have any thoughts or any questions?
And also because you're going back out a little bit further, you're also sort of extending the length that is too close to the side lot, right? Do I have this right? An extra,
So the on the rear side of it, we don't have a setback
right,
on the
I
rear
understand
side.
that, yeah.
But
The side of it's gonna be longer than it is now, right?
yes, so it's, right, so I think that says 12, and now it'd be 17, so it'd be another 5 feet there.
Yeah. Okay, so that's
Or maybe a little-
that's how it extends the nonconformity in that way too. But even so, with the nature of the lot and the support of your neighbors, I also don't have any issue with it.
Hillary?
I would concur with both Alex and Cindy that, it makes sense. You can't see it at all. I tried walking and everything. That's like completely not visible with your evergreen trees. But even so, you can't quite really see around the corner. Some things that I don't fully understand. So this is all on the second floor.
Yeah, so it's, I think in the photograph that I'm showing, you see the deck there, so it's everything, it's just, everything is on just the second floor.
Okay, and this is a single family home, so the underneath the deck is yours as well?
Yeah,
So those windows you have are going to be much further covered, is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, although the posts are, you just, when you're down there and you're just looking out through the post, whether it's, the distance doesn't,
Yeah, so
it was a consideration originally, and that's one of the reasons why it's built that way. It was, my mom was like, well, I don't know if I want that, but now as the years go on, it doesn't matter to her, and after it's all built, it's like, oh, it wouldn't have been a big deal, but
Okay.
at the time when you're doing the first thing, I assume everything seems more like it was gonna be a bigger impact than it became, you know.
That's what's my main question is how that is making sure it was all your stuff.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Okay, just a couple questions. So I was curious, is that, I see one line that I think is the property line, and I think another line, which I'm guessing is your neighbor's fence.
Correct.
And then, do you have any idea what that third dotted line is? Do you have any idea what
The
that
one on
is?
the top.
Yes.
Can you pull up on that picture, just pull it down so we can see? And if he has, I have the actual plans here, let me just open the one.
It just,
I think
it's,
what happened was, and this is where I think there was some, you know, questions with our, this goes back years ago, but when we went to Cambridge to try to get the survey originally, there was some documentation that was no longer on record.
It was a
As
flood or something.
there was like a flood, I don't know, in the town like years ago, and it destroyed some of the documentation. It's either in Cambridge or it was here, I can't remember. And so when they were looking for the backside, this point out here of the property, it refers to it in description of some stone wall, to the
right,
end of a stone wall.
Right.
And if you ever went into our back conservation woodlands there, you would see that, you know, the stone wall is hardly existent. And so when the surveyor was out there, you know, he was trying to find a spot, but then what happened was the neighbor that anyways, the neighbor that's on the right side,
To the
or
north.
not the side lot, but the one on the back side, when he wanted to put in that development for Wells Road, I think it's Wells Road right there, he had to get a survey done of all the properties, and so when they redid all of that, establishing off of their properties, it really pulled this line in even further, and I think that's why it increased some, from where our neighbor used to have his fence was along this dotted line.
oh,
And then after this was all done, it swung into our property and created some of that setback thing, but we didn't really have any way to, we didn't have any way of really, you know.
so at one point, that people might have thought that dashed line was your property line.
Absolutely.
Yeah, originally when we came in, that's where our neighbor and my dad had gotten, they didn't do a full survey, they'd done like a fence survey, and they both agreed, and we lived for like 20 years, I think, or 15 years with a fence that was running along that dotted line.
Oh, but
And then-
now you're convinced that dotted line is not the property line.
I'm not convinced of it, but there's nothing I can really do about it because
You lost some property, huh?
There's no.
it's you know, I talked with the surveyor and he said it's, you know, there's no definitive proof either way, he said, so I'm like, well, whatever, I just.
Yeah, our property, plot plan references a stone fence also, and you go out there, that stone fence, of course, is fallen down.
Yeah, which part are you
And
gonna
it's about,
grab?
you know, it's about that wide now,
Right.
so who knows, but anyway, so that makes sense. The other thing is, your new deck is gonna be the same elevation as your existing deck, correct?
Correct.
And like Hillary, I went by to try and look at it too, but unless you swim down that drainage easement, you can't even see where this is gonna be. So I certainly have no objection. I think it'll be a good use and a good way to expand your living space. Andrew, do you have anything to add or any questions?
Not that you guys haven't asked already.
Okay, I have to ask this, any comments from the public? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to address this request for a special permit.
I would make a motion to, do I read this? I have to get the, hang on, 1 second. Can I have the,
Yes.
So I make a motion, do I have to reread the legal notice?
Nope.
No.
To,
I think I gave you a script as well, Jamie, if you wanna pass that off.
sorry, where are we?
Yes, sorry.
Nick always did the
The 20-year chairman has left us and we're all like, but he used to do everything.
I move to grant the petitioners, Eric and Yvonne Georges, a special permit under the sections 7.0, 7.3, and 7.3.2 of the zoning bylaws to, what is this, to grant a special permit on the
Yeah, on the
non-conforming
structure.
structure at 409 Haverhill Street in Reading, Mass, as shown on the certified plot plan prepared by Alan Nelson, a professional land surveyor of Burlington, Massachusetts, dated. Do you have the date on that? June 2nd, 2021, and certified by Alan Nelson. His number is,
30894, I think.
it's hard to read.
I think it's 308.
30894 perhaps.
That's fine.
The special permit is subject to the following conditions. The petitioner shall submit to the building inspector a certified plot plan of the proposed construction and proposed foundation plans prior to the issuance of a foundation permit for the work. The petitioner's final construction plans for the new structure shall be submitted to the building inspector, along with the as-built foundation plans prior to the issuance of a building permit. An as-built plan showing the completed construction shall be submitted to the building inspector immediately after the work is complete and prior to the issuance of an occupancy permit.
Sweet. Could we just reference the architectural plan?
Architectural drawing by Babbitt Design dated June 14th, 2021, drawing A3.
Okay, is there a second?
No second that motion.
Okay, before we vote, I forgot to close the public hearing, so the public hearing is closed. So we have a motion on the floor and it's seconded. If there are no other comments, we will vote. All those in favor, please signify by raising their hand, and it's unanimous. Congratulations, good luck with it.
Could we
Andrew will tell you what you need to
You've
do
got to
next.
stamp and sign it,
Yes.
acting chair.
So like a waiting period or something like that?
There is an appeal period, but we'll notify you because that's from the decision posting date. So Jamie, if you could just, actually they're stamped, if you
Oh,
could
it's
just
already
sign
stamped?
those. We will give you guys a stamped copy of the plans to record, and then we'll file the rest with the town clerk, and then we'll issue the decision probably early next week. And then there's a 20-day appeal period from there.
Okay, does that mean I can't do anything for 20 days in terms of the town, stuff like that?
Check with the building department, you might be able to proceed at your own risk, but I'm not sure.
And what's the appeal is for who, people that,
I don't want this.
no. Yes,
Interested
a
people.
group of people that are gonna appeal it.
Jamie, did you get these two plot plans as well?
Sorry.
No worries.
And this one.
And that one.
So the building inspector has already approved the plans with the exception of the setback, correct?
No, I think what happened is, I don't know, I think what happened is we basically just gave him something that he could deny, cause we needed a letter of denial. So he doesn't have a full set, and I didn't wanna spend money on a full set until I knew whether or not I could get a permit, so
So
right
no-
now, we'll go ahead with developing the rest of the set and.
Yeah, cause you'll have to get the actual building permit before you can do it.
That's right.
Correct.
Okay, thank you very much.
So do we leave, or you'll
I
send?
I give you a copy of these.
You're,
signed
you're
plans.
welcome to stay, but it's not gonna be very.
Oh, okay.
Well, thank you, everybody. COVID bump. COVID bump. All around.
Nice to
I'd
meet you.
handshake you, but.
Just waiting on that plan.
Nobody knows the rules right now.
All right, well, thank you, you guys.
We have one more thing.
Oh,
Yep, just
we
gotta
have
give you
one
these.
Yeah.
It's coming.
No rush.
more? You guys did great.
Feel like I dragged you guys all out here.
This is only our second in-person meeting in a
Yeah,
very long
Oh.
time,
18,
so
14 months.
getting used to that again too.
I'm glad it was us.
You've been doing all this on Zoom?
Yeah,
So you take these and you record these at the registry of deeds, but you might wanna wait for the decision and all that, so save you a trip.
In Cambridge? Is that the one?
Yep.
So okay. Is there I'm just sorry, is there instructions on it somewhere?
Yeah, we'll give them to you, we'll tell you in the email.
Oh, okay.
We'll follow.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you, guys.
Good luck.
Be safe, have a good night.
You as well.
Bye.
okay, I guess the next order of business is reorganization of the board. So we will think what we're gonna do, because we were faced with this before. We will, I will stay as acting chair for a few more seconds, and we'll take nominations for a co-chair.
Yep.
And then if someone is successfully elected as co-chair, then that person will then chair the meeting and take nominations for a chair.
Okay.
So at this point, I will accept nominations for Hillary to accept the position as co-chair of the zoning board of appeals.
So nominated.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Discussion.
If you want, I'll accept.
Any other nominations? Having no other nominations, she is elected with congratulations unanimously.
Okay.
Okay, so now,
Now I
You
will
are acting chair.
accept nominations for the chair. Can I nominate?
You can nominate, yes.
I nominate Jamie.
Second.
Objections? Now we vote. Do you have any comments?
it's only for 1 year.
Okay. And then we vote?
Yep.
I agree.
Aye.
Okay, so we've completed that, except for Hillary, and for me, it was pretty painless. So we will continue that way for a year. We still, we need 1 or 2 more members and 1 or 2 associates, right?
We need 1 full-time member and 2 associates.
And how do we advertise that?
Word to mouth, it is on the town website. I ask every now and then to update it on social media blast as well.
Okay.
Do they make an effort to send it out to Reading attorneys or something like that, or, you know,
Not that I'm
Reading
aware of.
contractors, people who might naturally be interested?
I've found, with a few exceptions, the most successful way to find members is existing members to go ahead and just try and talk to their colleagues and friends. But sometimes the select board will have some ideas.
I mean, we could, no, I mean, you can, there's different quorum numbers that, or board numbers that you can reduce or increase to, maybe not increase past 5, but you could have a 3-person board in theory.
Doesn't that have to be,
I
Go
think that
before
would have
town
to go
meeting?
through town meeting
Yeah,
and
we're not
charter
there
and
yet.
all that, yeah.
I think only if we find out that, you know, another few months go by and we don't have any.
Right, and I don't wanna lose any
Applicants
of you guys, so.
I think 5 is a too small number myself. I think 7 would be a better number if we ever could change it, just because people miss. And if the decisions all have to be unanimous, that's a little, it's a little difficult,
It
but
should be
anyway.
super, yeah, in this case.
So we will all try and find some more members. I have one friend, colleague, who's town planner in the city of Lynn and lives in Reading.
That's where Brett was from.
But I cannot get her to, she attends the public meeting for the bylaws changes and all that, she's very involved,
It's
but
probably
she just
too close to her day job, she
doesn't
doesn't
want
wanna.
to sit on the board.
I'd love to be on zoning in Peabody, but I'd have enough night meetings as it is. So
You live in Peabody?
I do, yes.
Okay, the other two items are the minutes which Amanda sent out, both of which I read, and I had no comment, so I would accept, let's start with the first one on the minutes from the meeting on the 20th of May, 2021. Is there a motion to accept those minutes?
Or any comments? I don't have any
That's
comments.
the one I wasn't at.
I had no
so I
comments.
can't really
Okay. All right, if we could have a motion to accept them.
Make a motion to accept the minutes of, this was
May
May
20th.
May
20th.
Yeah, a second?
Sure. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Right.
Okay, let's do the same thing with the minutes of the 3rd.
I have no comments.
I have one comment.
Okay, do you have the, can you
Page
get?
2, the 4th paragraph from the bottom. It says that a number of letters, and why did I write this? I thought I put several, but anyway. Several letters were submitted to abutters, but it doesn't really matter, so,
We can change it to several.
yeah.
They all said the same thing, that
Yes,
I
but
remember.
it
they
was,
were from a number of people.
it was awkward. That's all.
Okay, would you accept that as a friendly amendment?
Yes.
Okay. All right, any other comments on those? I did read them, they look good to me. Okay, all in favor of accepting the minutes? None opposed, unanimously approved. Any other business from any of the board members?
There was an invitation to another zoning
Yes.
discussion.
Yes, so
What's that?
CPDC is opening a public hearing on July 12th on a discussion of a zoning bylaw amendment that we've been thinking of. So right now, there's a few site plan review triggers, and full site plan review is currently triggered by a change of use category in the zoning bylaw, which is not always helpful for a site that goes from office to restaurant, as an example, because those are in the same category. So to get just more eyes on changes like that, we've tried to tie the change of use from line item to line item, and also if it increases parking requirements, that would trip a site plan review. If it doesn't increase parking requirements, and I hope I'm getting this right, it would be minor site plan review, which gives us a lot more flexibility. There's admin approval, there's waivers in minor site plan, and there's just less stringent requirements on a business. So it's just kind of getting some extra eyes on these change of uses that are falling through, and can be problematic. I don't think we have a large number of those that have been problematic, but just for future cases, and because we want to be looking at parking under more of a lens under site plan and get conditions on new businesses and sites that relate to those businesses, that's what we're looking for.
So right now, they're all minor site plan reviews, but under the change, if there's a
Right
change
now,
in
there's-
parking, it would be a full site plan review.
Right now, there is typically no formal board review for a change of use in the same category.
Oh, not even minor site plan review.
Correct. Unless they were adding parking.
Is this true if it's a full site plan review, CPDC reviews it, but if it's minor, they can delegate to staff?
Yes, that is true. But we always check in with the
Right.
chair before doing any admin approval or anything like that. And if they don't feel that admin approval is right, then minor site plan will come before CPDC as well.
So these are mostly for CBDC, but it could fall into zoning board.
I don't think zoning board will be impacted. The only time that there's a use that zoning board reviews is in the table of uses. There's an acronym that is delegated to the zoning board for a special permit on a use, but if I remember correctly, it's only the substantially similar use, and the zoning board would make a determination on that use, which I've seen about one of in my time.
Alright, just wanna make sure I am keeping abreast of what's happening.
Yeah, it's really for CPDC to get more eyes on things.
Okay,
You're more than welcome to come and say, we want ZBA to see these things if you want.
But this only deals with change of use. If there's any new construction, then it's a full site plan review.
Correct, we have worded it so that
And
new
and that
construction-
might come before us if that site plan was in violation of
Right,
the
if they
existing
need it.
zoning.
Yep, correct. So just to show the current triggers for site plan review. So this is the triggers for site plan review here. Increase of gross floor area of 500 square feet or more, a change of use, again from one use category to another. Defined change of use is line item to line item in the definition, so that's why we're trying to match with that. And then the addition of 2 or more parking spaces, which doesn't always work in the downtown because it's an exemption for
Yeah.
commercial parking every now and then.
Okay.
So those are, the hearing is opening July 12th with the intent that we can approve it by August and get it on the warrant for November town meeting in 2021.
and are we talking about what's happening with the next meetings?
All right.
Thank you
So
for
free-
that
yes,
explanation, by
of
the
course,
way.
I hope I explained it well,
Yeah, very
haven't looked
clear.
at it a week or two.
Very,
So as an update on a few things, as you noticed, no hybrid meetings in the select board meeting room because the room just isn't retro fit for it and it can be quite expensive to get the technology needed.
the paper said $6,000.
Yeah, something like that, and because of the cameras from the public and the board and the microphones and the screens and all that, it's just not set up right for
Can't just put
hybrid.
a laptop on a chair out there.
Right.
No, why
Camera.
not?
So
That's what we all do.
we're kind of stuck in either completely in person or completely in Zoom, even though hybrid is an option through the state.
Isn't there one room that's almost set up for
The
hybrid?
conference room next door can do hybrids, but it's a table with about 10 chairs on it, so to have the board, staff, and any interested public, it's too small to do for these types of hearings, so it wouldn't work. We thought about the school or Pleasant Street Center as well, but I don't think those are ready. They have similar challenges to this room, is my understanding. So you guys seem to like in person. I'm fine scheduling everything from here on out in person, but if you ever wish to Zoom for whatever reason, if it's easier for a meeting, if someone's away, or something.
Yeah, if we need a quorum, we might.
Right.
But we'd have to
Easier
know
to
like a
get
month
to know
ahead
in
of time.
advance. Speaking of August, I am not available.
Do
So,
we have any applications
For the entire
August?
month of August?
I am.
Either meeting? Okay.
so we have 3 applications we're expecting for August. We're now expecting them for September because we don't
Well,
have quorum.
Not to lean on you, but is there a chance you could do them Zoom?
So I will be in Europe,
Oh, okay.
so
Timing is.
Seven-
Iceland or something?
Yeah.
How can you go to Europe?
my family is Bulgarian.
Oh.
So I am able to travel with my household.
Bulgarians.
I just heard on the radio you need a digital COVID to travel in the EU, apparently, just like this week.
I want to go to England.
England's
Crazy.
second on my list.
I don't-
I go every year and a half.
So
I haven't
we
been
are
in 2
vaccinated,
years.
my children are not, but they are citizens of the EU,
Mm.
so there are different rules Appeals apparently for them, but we'll find out.
Yeah, good luck.
So,
So with that,
Okay,
we do have a meeting on 2 weeks from now for one more case on the 15th. And then unless we get a new member before August, in order to have voting quorum, then we're not gonna have meetings in August
so
and
with 4 members, our voting quorum is 4, right?
Right.
Is that correct? And if we had 5
Yeah.
members,
It'll
voting
still be
quorum is
4.
still 4,
right,
but we've
just
got
4
more
out
leeway.
of 5,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. Okay.
So my legal ads for those dates, I believe our first meeting in August is the 5th, so my legal ad has to print by July 22nd. So crossing our fingers, we get a new member by then and we can post some ads for August. But if not, then we just don't have a choice but to,
Is the July 15th meeting already posted?
the legal ad has printed, but the agenda is not settled.
and that's the one that we were gonna try to do hybrid, but
Yeah.
no,
Right.
so we're in
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
But you have 2 applications in hand for August, you said?
I have 1 in hand for August and 2 more are coming by.
There's no
Tuesday.
way we could get that one on the July meeting?
It's too late to post the ads, they would have had to print.
What about July 29th?
Wait.
Is that still?
If you guys are available, I can certainly make that work.
Does that
Yeah.
work, Hillary?
Let me check my
When are you
schedule.
Because I hate to put those people off because the
Yeah.
construction season now is just going nuts.
Well, if they can get products and things
Yeah.
to build, which is a big problem right now.
Tell me about it.
I am in the same time zone during that day. I could do that.
Zoom or in
I
person?
would
But
have to do
it sounds like
Zoom.
it have to be soon.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay,
No,
that's
that's
fine.
great, that's a help.
Yeah.
So, but at least it doesn't, yeah, and
Right.
then new ones that come in, you just would have to tell them right away, it looks like we're not gonna
Right.
have a meeting in August, so.
Right.
Can you
Wait.
encourage those you know about to get theirs in so we can
I can.
address as many as possible on the 29th of
I can.
July?
Yep, cause my ads would have to print the 15th and that gives us some time.
So the 15th is in person and the
Correct.
29th is Zoom.
We'll do 29th
Okay.
Zoom if we can.
And so just to let you,
Yep.
so just to let you know, since it looks like we need to do a lot of advanced planning these days, I'm on vacation. I will miss October 7th,
Okay.
if we're not squared away by then.
7, I would hope that we are.
Although I'm in California, so I could theoretically do a Zoom.
Okay. Yeah, if you guys have dates that you know you're gonna miss meetings, please do give me as much of an advance heads up as you can. Obviously, things happen, so
The first week in November, I will not be
first
available.
week in November, okay.
And we've all got our
I'm a planner
Okay.
and
And fall
even
vacation.
you guys
fall
are
vacation.
far ahead.
Yeah, I'm looking at, cause I am supposed to be gone in, I'll be here for December 16th, but and we don't have the next year's published yet.
So Andrew, I see you taking notes. If you could just consolidate all these dates that we
Mhm.
can't meet and send them out so we can all mark up our calendars.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Mark our calendars. Cannot miss this meeting.
And if, I mean, I would be in favor if we have a lot of applications and we're not able to meet on our normal date, see if we can find another date if we have enough advance warning.
Yes, I would appreciate that.
That's possible.
We're always looking for extra meeting dates, so. So great, I will try to get confirmation on the 29th as soon as possible, get those applications in, noticed and ready to go, cause that would be a huge help if we can.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. And for new chair, I have confirmed that I can sign the decisions, so no
Good.
need for you to come into town hall.
I don't mind, but that
Save
gives
you
us more flexibility.
So I will do that for this case. I'll draft and sign the decision. I will send them to chair and co-chair before I do so,
Okay.
just to make sure that you
To
guys
read it.
are okay with it. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, this one's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I think so. So
Okay, thank you.
Thank
No
you.
further business. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second, and
Seconded.
all in favor, get up and leave.
Thank you.
Thank you.